going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gmias World. Right now, we're going to be taking a look at the most OP team, well, defensive team. This defense right now, I believe, is one of the best in the game. Now, depending on how you run defense, you may not agree, but primarily for me, I run 3-4 odd and 4-3 even, right? So you only need a few, like, it's key components to the team that makes your team just really, really wild and OP. So what we're going to talk about right now is a few things that I've done, and pretty much I'm going to give you guys some insight into it, and then you guys can do what you want. Like I said, I'm only going to give you guys suggestions. You guys decide whether or not it works for you, and you go from there. All right, so one of the other additions that we had, Josh Jacobs and also Shaq Mason, those are two pretty good additions, but because we're focusing on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to just go right to that. If you guys want to know more about why I did that, let me know in the comments and we can go over that, but we're going to be talking about defense right now. So look, pretty much right here, Myles Garrett, he was added. I got him for $747. I don't expect his card price to go down for a little, because the way he's playing in the league right now and everything about the card, his card should probably be one of the more OP cards throughout the year. Once he starts to dwindle down in price, we'll go ahead and take a look at it, but I don't see in any way, form, or fashion that this card is going to be looking like, a slouch. Like sort of the way that it happened with Michael Strahan. Like Michael Strahan, when he first came out, he was really, really good. He became outdated. Because Myles Garrett is a current player, he's going to keep getting enhanced. The more and more this man keeps going out there and doing whatever he wants on the field, the more he's going to get these enhanced cards, and it's going to get really crazy. But I dropped the money for it because when I run the 4-3 even and I got those big bodies in the middle, I need players with suitable speed and all three of the categories right there: block shed, power move, and finesse move. And this was a huge purchase, but for me, it's worth it. Now, if your pockets ain't set up like that, do not buy Myles Garrett. I'm not saying you have to have him. I'm letting you know he makes the defense scream, and he only plays D tackle for me. All right, just so you guys are aware of that. Now, let's move on to the other monster that's in the game that just dropped with the Most Feared Part 3. Many of you guys know him as AD, Aaron Donald. Now, for the most part, some of you guys are saying, yo, Gmias, this guy kind of sucks. What's going on with him? He's not really doing much. I don't know how you guys utilize him. I give him unpredictable just because of the fact that, unpredictable is something to where you will get a random shed in the game that'll make the QB throw the ball off his back foot, and it'll actually be inaccurate. We all know that EA has made the game to where it's pretty usual for somebody to throw off their back foot and it's an accurate pass. He actually does that without utilizing under pressure. So if he's able to get there on a random shed, they usually overthrow the ball. It's something about Aaron Donald. I don't know what it is. EA loves this guy. He just does whatever he wants. When you look at his numbers, though, 93 block shed, he just gets that 90 finesse move, which is really, really key, and 94 power move. So those of you guys that are asking specifically, like, Gmias, what makes him so good? Why were you going crazy about getting him and adding him to your squad? Any player that has 90s in all those three categories, the block shed, power move, and finesse move, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, they actually made attributes matter this year. And those are the core components for any pass rusher. So it doesn't matter if he's a power rusher, a speed rusher, or whatever. If he has those three categories, no matter what move he tries to do, he's going to get something off. All right? So he's 280 and 6'1". That's a lot of weight that's right in the middle on the center of the offensive line that you're playing against. So the strength and all that stuff, I don't really know what it does, but I'll tell you this much. For these guys that are running around using the strategy cards, they were running the ball all over me earlier. So strength is absolutely a factor. It's just for the fact that I refuse to use the strategy cards because I don't think it's fun for the game. So I'm not going to use it, but I have no problem playing against guys that do it. Pretty much enjoy it for the weekend, I guess. I don't know what EA is doing, but it is what it is. But again, he sets up perfectly for the way that you want to play the game. Because whether you put him in the center in 3-4 or he's one of the two D tackles in the 4-3 even, he's going to cause problems. Now, it's another thing that you guys have to understand. It's not about him getting free. It's about what he's doing to the other players. That's what you guys are not realizing. Don't worry about him getting free. Him getting free has nothing to do with what's going on. He just needs to cause a lot of maximum rage in the middle of that whole section of the O-line. So the center and the two guards, the more they pay attention to him, the more the other guys scream. The issue is now we have Myles Garrett. So with Myles Garrett, it's crazy because he's over there doing his own thing. The only problem, like I would say, guys, would it matter that he has unpredictable? It honestly probably doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're being like totally honest about it, it probably does not matter that he has unpredictable. It's just about adding another ability to the player. Some of you guys that were asking about inside zone, I would not flirt with inside zone anymore. I've tried it like 3 or 4 times and it's just been garbage. So I would not engage with that. I think unpredictable is a much better ability at this point than obviously going with the inside stuff. So the only reason that it's on him is just for it to generate some kind of buzz. He doesn't need it. But another thing that makes him really good, he's gonna get an inside stuff animation when a guy tries to run the ball up the middle, especially in goal line situations. He's always gonna get that animation. So that's very, very important because they let him shed with unpredictable when he's at that D tackle position. So because that happens, when it comes down to the goal line, I usually try to figure out, how we're gonna do it, what we're gonna do. As far as when we go in and set up somebody that's gonna run like a fullback dive. It's very, very important with the way that it is though. You guys gotta realize, all you have to do is make sure that he's there in the center for the, the goal line D. And because he has unpredictable, he will actually shed. He will actually shed and he will make sure that, he comes in and handles business. Just so you guys understand, it is something that's very, very important that you guys figure out sooner than later, because all you need to do when you get this card is be able to go ahead and set up that proper goal line D with him in the middle, and he will definitely give you guys what you need out there on the field. So those two guys right there, obviously with the way that Aaron Donald is very, very cheap. I've seen him as low as $299. It's Myles Garrett that's the problem. He's the guy that is going to change your defensive life. And again, if you can't afford him, Michael Strahan is the next best thing, but Michael Strahan is $255. So that weight factor, he'll do stuff, but he won't do stuff like, the way that this guy will do stuff. Another thing you can do, you can hear me out with this, right? You can give Myles Garrett the unpredictable and, let Aaron Donald play without an ability as well. Just so that you guys are aware of that, because if you mix and match and put the right ability on the right guy, shout out to Shannon Sharp, you're going to have success in different areas. So either one of these guys, if you were to get Michael Strahan because you can't afford Myles Garrett right now, I would give Michael Strahan unpredictable. So you see what I'm saying? Myles Garrett technically is not, he's very, very good, but Aaron Donald, because of the speed factor, he's probably a little bit better because of the +1 with the speed. He's 6'1", a little bit more undersized, whatever. But technically, I'm probably going to switch that ability and see how it works and make Myles Garrett, because he's bigger, see how he does it in the field, and just let Aaron Donald play without an ability. And if it doesn't scream the same way, we'll just adjust it. But that's pretty much what we have to do. We have to be willing to do these type of things to figure out what goes on. But many of you guys that joined me with the earlier stream, you saw what he was doing. Dude was screaming uncontrollably. So that's something that we'll check out. But that's all I would put on him is unpredictable, simply because he's playing D tackle. If you use any edge thing right now, I think that double or nothing is probably the best to go with, and that's what I have on Lawrence Taylorson and Broderick Thomason. And that's pretty much all I have for you right now. But this defense right here, guys, it's screaming. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. You have an unbelievable day. Until next time, one love, y'all.